Man, are you kidding me right now? Biblical angel caught on camera. Man, what? So basically these men were working on a regular day on their shift and thought they seen a UFO. But I thought out the box. These look just like the biblical angels. Look at the feathers. Look at the eye. Man, y'all cannot tell me this is not a biblical angel. Come on. There's so much stuff happening in the world and so much stuff coming to the light. It's just in our faces now. Like, I don't think you guys understand how scary this is getting. I'm not in fear because I know the truth. But once you wake up and really start seeing what's going on, it's just going to become regular to you guys, man. And it's ironic, I just dropped a video on this. But what do you guys think? Is this a UFO? Is it a biblical angel? Am I tripping? Even though I know I'm not? Let me know underneath. But other than that, keep your spirits clean, stay pure, stay meditated, and most of all, stay blessed. Tune in. I'm dropping more content and giving what y'all deserve. Peace.
Oh my god, that's some mind-blowing phenomenon. That's some creepy stuff, man.
Look at the swirl. This is my swirl at home. You can see how beautiful that is. After it soaks, I put the copper in after 10 minutes of swirling by itself. And then after about an hour or two, then I transport the water over here. So that's restructured water over here. You can see my copper on there. And then from there, when my personal drinking water is empty, I refill over here. This is my personal water. So I let it swirl with copper at least a good hour before I transport and then put it over here. For my husband and I both drink restructured water. Then I have one at work, so I don't have to transport anymore. It's a lot of work to do that, and it's fun. My clients like seeing it swirling. I'm going to do mint on Thursday. I'm going to swirl up some mint and see what that looks like. All right, be well, drink water, smile, kiss everybody. Bye.
Just name some few benefits of that water if you know.
No. Get out. Out. Hey, Ron! Ron, the squirrel's in the plane.
What?
The squirrel, it's taken off in the plane.
Hey! Going down. Oh, we had a lucky landing. I think everything's okay. Squirrels.
Oh, if a squirrel can fly a plane, then
This
I
is
can also
scary.
do that.
This preacher spent his whole life preaching the gospel, doing the work of God, winds up dying, comes face to face with God, and what God tells him is going to shock you. Watch this.
Faith is dead. Your works are in vain. The life that you lived and offered to me as a life of Christian service is an abomination that I rejected in the Pharisee. What made you think I would accept it from a Laodicean type Christian? In fact, untold millions are living the same kind of life that you live, and they stand in danger of my everlasting wrath. Unquote the living God. I couldn't believe he was talking to me. I'm a preacher. You didn't do those works for me. You did them for a false God. I said, Lord, I worked for you. I called you Lord every day. Yes, you did, but you never made me Lord. What a difference. To call him Lord gives him a title. To make him Lord promotes him to ruler of life. But Lord, I was serving you. No, you wasn't. You served a false God. Then he named him Satan's #1 selling false God. SELF. Instantly, I knew everything he said was true.
Oh my God. Please be loving to your neighbor.
It sounds like a plot from a movie. Police are trying to unravel the true identity of a mystery man.
Time travel. It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, when in fact it could be more of a reality than we think.
Scientists now claim time travelers could use parallel dimensions to visit the past.
Police say that it is possible that this guy just has a very active fantasy life, and that it might not be something more nefarious than that.
It was this picture from a security camera police used to identify the man accused of stealing.
It's under investigation what the true motive behind this is. We are exploring his mindset and any possibility that mental health played a role in this.
The one thing police have not been able to figure out: the person's identity.
It was a shock, not only to the public, but to investigators too.
We received startling information from the state lab regarding the presence of an unknown male profile.
The DA says they are still conducting multiple DNA tests. They won't say where investigators are in the testing process.
Here's this mystery person.
No one knew who he was.
A big question
back
mark
in time,
a case
and
like
unidentified.
Investigators aren't losing hope they'll one day put a face to a man who so far doesn't show up in any missing person database anywhere in the country.
So you may have seen this story in the news. Time traveler from 3036 arrested. An identified man gets arrested for stealing. Claims to be from the year 3036. Authorities say the unknown man has no birth record, no social security number, and no identification file on record. When asked why he was stealing, he told police he thought clothing and food was free in the marketplaces. He later explained this to be part of the new society in the year 3036, the year he is supposedly from, in the future.
Hi, Sebastian? What's that? Yep, my name's Jack Helms. Is this Sebastian? Yeah. Yes, my name's Jack. I'm a journalist and documentary filmmaker. I was really intrigued by your story. Just curious if I can have a quick minute of your time to talk.
Oh. So it's like
So I
this
found a
message
recruiting
of
video
Ravi
for the
Rock.
military of Kenya, and this is the first commercial I've ever seen for Kenya. I didn't know that I guess it makes sense that they make recruiting videos, but I didn't realize that they had released something publicly. So let's check it out.
I am a soldier.
I took an oath
To protect and defend
the Republic of Kenya.
every day.
My mission is to pursue peace.
And to build the nation.
For Kenya,
I am loyal,
patriotic,
apolitical,
and professional.
every day.
I am the best I can be.
And to the world,
We are the peacekeepers, deployed in 44 countries,
60,000 soldiers,
serving around the globe.
10 years in Somalia.
The demand for the Kenyan soldier remains high.
To sustain our success,
Our number one priority its mission readiness.
Deployed in 44 countries. I didn't realize that they were around the globe in that level. Interesting. I always find it's interesting to watch other countries' recruiting videos or just military commercials in general, because every country has their own like twist, their own way of doing stuff. I do think that it was interesting that they put that they were apolitical in there, because that's also something that we do here in the United States. Some of us are better at it than others. Interesting.
Oh, that's a good word, peacemakers.
So the question that the scientists now are asking, as we embrace the deep truth of cyclic civilization, and cyclic civilizations that go back 15, 20,000 years or more before the present, is it possible that those civilizations developed in ways that we simply have not recognized in the current world, that we're only now beginning to entertain the possibility of recognizing? And this is one of those places where the evidence is emerging, but there is a reluctance, and I have to be very honest and say there's actually a resistance in some places to sharing the new discoveries. There's a resistance in mainstream classrooms, in mainstream textbooks, to talk about cyclic civilization going back 15,000 years before present. We're certainly not seeing in the documentaries and the television specials, with rare exceptions. That's why it's important for me to share this information and talk to you about it here. I am a scientist. I'm a degreed geologist. And I think science is good. Science serves us. But science is designed to be constantly updated as new information emerges. Science is not static. And this is what's happened. In many respects, science has been hijacked by other interests, by corporations, by politics, by religion. So the science that we've asked to serve us can only serve us if we keep it honest. And what the science is honestly saying to us is that the world of the past is very, very different from what we've been led to believe. There have been advanced technological civilizations. We knew they have electricity. We've seen the buried cables. We've seen the pipes underground. We've seen the civilizations with hot and cold running water, stained glass windows, high art, advanced mathematics, knowledge of star systems that we only had in the 20th century. And we're looking at civilizations over 10,000 years old that had this knowledge. So I'm saying all of this now to come back to the question, is it possible that an advanced civilization, maybe ours, has developed simulated realities a long time ago for reasons that we'll explore in this series? And if so, is it possible that we are living inside of those realities?
Leave your thoughts on that, man.
Well, the point is, how can they project holograms of that size?
And therein lies the problem, because people are, when you see hologram, they're thinking of a Walt Disney little pixie dancing around in a little darkness area. That's all they know about holograms. They don't know that 20 years ago, we could project a hologram with heat, noise, light, speed, anything we wanted, anywhere. And we use that on right now. The television industry is ready to bring out television quality programs that you could put right on your desk, and you have a little little thing here. You can raise it up like this. I mean, you can enlarge it. You can bring it down to small. You can move it over there. You can move it over there, wherever you want, and it looks just like. And you can stand.
Oh my God. Technology is really advancing, man. And some guy here has some busy day making tensor rings. Look at this. Looks like those rings we see people put in water. And they are just incredible, man. You see, from previous episodes we can see and hear different people saying that these rings can help increase the vibrations in the water or frequency, something like that. You see, leave some comments if you've ever used them or drank water that has been under the influence of tensor rings. You see, because myself, I've never tried that. I don't know how it works, but it looks like.
Can I blow your mind right now? Okay. What if everything we know about the moon is wrong?
Chris, can you pull up that video? Look at this. That's the moon out in broad daylight on full display. I recorded this video at 4:30 this afternoon on my way to pick up Chris from school. Right? How is that possible? If it's nighttime in Australia and they're looking up at the moon, how can I be seeing it in broad daylight? The only logical conclusion is the bilunarian model, which suggests that there are two nearly identical moons orbiting the Earth in perfect symmetry. And if you've never heard of it, it sounds pretty radical. I get that. But when you start to think about it, it makes perfect sense. And the people try to deflate this argument by going, well, how come we've never seen them at the same time? Well, they're in perfect symmetry. And for us to not be able to see both at the same time, one has to be on the other side of the Earth, which means that the Earth has to have at least two opposing sides, right? And it can't just be two sides, or else the Earth would be two-dimensional. That's ridiculous. But what if there was a more radical model? We don't know where the Egyptians got their inspiration from, but it's starting to make a little more sense now. And if you really want to go down this rabbit hole with me, which moon did the astronauts visit? We still don't know.
Oh, that's good.
So I would be in archives, and I would come across a Catholic from, say, 1400 who saw what they thought was, this spinning disc in the sky, and maybe some, things associated with it. And they would interpret it in different ways. One of the ways they interpreted it was that these were souls from purgatory that needed to be prayed back into purgatory because they were lost, or something like this. So I made notes of these. And what I noticed was that the descriptions were similar. The descriptions were always very similar. So it would be something like a shiny disc in the sky. It would come down. Sometimes it would interact with people. The people would, think that it was not ordinary at all. And they would, do something like I said, pray it back or something, or try to get rid of it in some way. So I didn't actually I didn't know what these were, but I kept a log of them. So as I was doing my book on purgatory, I kept a log of these, extraneous, strange reports. Strangely enough, there was a UFO conference in my town that week, and I went to it and I listened to people, and they were talking about the same thing. So we're talking about people who are saying the same things that people say 500 years ago would say in European, in France or something, Catholics in France. They would see this thing in the sky. It would come down. They would have some type of interaction with it, and they would have, these ideas about it, and they would generally look at it like something spiritual. And so when I was listening to people at the UFO conference, they were saying the exact same thing. They were saying, well, this thing came down from the sky, and, I had this interaction with it, and my life completely changed, and this is how I feel about it. And they were speaking in terms that were religious-like. And I recognized that right away as a pattern, and more patterns emerged as I started to study it. And honestly, I didn't actually want to study it because, this is like a career breaker for a lot of people who begin to study it. John Mack comes to mind. He's a Harvard psychiatrist who studied this in the 80s and the 90s, and he was at Harvard, and they actually did an investigation into his research. They found that he was completely legit. So I was aware of this. I wouldn't have undertaken this study if I had been an assistant professor or an associate professor, but I was already a full professor. I was the chair of my department. I had won the research, awards at my university. I had won lots and lots of grant money. So I was already pretty established. So I wasn't really concerned that much with the credibility hit that it would take. One pattern that was common to historical reports of anomalous aerial phenomena and contemporary reports is that people are absolutely surprised by what they see. They're surprised, and then they go through a number of steps to try to fit what they see into their own cultural framework. Okay, and that happens regardless of if it's 1,000 years ago or if it's today. So you have the case of, I'll take Teresa of Avila. She's a nun from the 16th century in Spain, and she's going about her day, and she sees this thing that she's first surprised by it. She doesn't know what it is. It's a being, actually, and it's about 3 feet tall. And she says, this has to be an angel, because what else could it be? So she's really confused by it. And you can see that she's trying to interpret it within her own framework of Catholicism, and she can't. They believe in spiritual things, but even they could not fit it into their spiritual narrative. So in 1,000 years ago, in the Christian tradition, a lot of people didn't read. So they weren't reading the Bible. They weren't reading, books, things like that, but they were looking at scenes of the Bible in church. So they were looking at frescoes. They were looking, so they were looking at visual culture. And also there were performances back then. So a lot of holy days actually were performances of scenes from the Bible and things like that. So people, this is how people learned about their religion and their faith. And this is how they formed in frameworks for understanding, these kinds of things. We do the same thing today, but right now, how we do it is through visual media, through entertainment media. Students of mine, they often go abroad, study abroad. They'll see these events from Catholic history, like say the Francis Stigmata event, right? So this is the event where St. Francis in 1200s has this, it looks like a contact event with one of these aerial phenomena things. And so what happens is that, it gets represented in art. And so they go there and they take pictures and they send them back to me and they say, oh, Dr. Pasulka, look, there's a UFO in the Louvre, right? And I say to them, wait a minute, your grandmother will call that an angel, right? Your grandmother looks at that and sees an angel. You look at that and see a UFO, because now we look at it and see a UFO.
Oh, that is interesting. You see, there are a lot of such stories from this side of the world, you see? And maybe people back then didn't have a better understanding. Look at this, some really scary sea monster. Oh my god, this is crazy, man. Oh, this is definitely something extremely huge. What is that? Some water anaconda or dinosaur, or what is this thing? This is crazy, man. Oh, imagine the guy recording was on some boat. Oh, he must have freaked out. You see, when it comes across such stuff myself on the water, I don't know what can happen. You see, my mind can experience a situation it has never experienced before. Because first, being in such big waters is something me and my brain have never encountered. And then now, besides that, you see something like this, it looks like a monster, and you're on water. Oh my god. See, now that is something that can even make someone the ancestors because of scared.
The Father's name is Yahuwah. It is spelled Yod-He, Yuah-He, and pronounced as Yahuwah. Very simple, very powerful. The Savior's name in modern Hebrew is spelled Yod-He, Yuah-Shin, Ayin, pronounced Yahusha. Very simple, very powerful. In fact, the power is clear when you realize the Savior's name is a description of who the Father is. Yahu is the abbreviation for Yahuwah. Shah in Hebrew means saves, salvation. Therefore, the Savior's name literally means Yahuwah saves. The translators, scribes, fueled by the evil one, have done everything possible to keep people from knowing the name of the Savior, because his name describes who he and the Father are. Yahuwah saves.
And I think this is a worthy zoom while you get set up.
Yeah.
He is awesome.
That is a beautiful jelly.
You want me to zoom?
Oh.
Bridge,
Hold on,
please
let me
hold
get
position.
closer to him.
Sure want to know if he glows, but I'll keep going. Thank you. Look at that thing. He's reflecting the lights of Pergano. Yeah. Looks like a firework. Alright, so once he's disturbed, which is now, if you can back off, zoom wide, there's a different crab that we want to try and grab.
Okay.
Esmeralda,
Yes.
which one is... You said there was one that was further down you want.
It's the same.
You think that one's the same? Okay. So if you can get your suction sampler out. And
all right.
Oh, man.
I know. Trust me, you're talking to a midwater guy.
All right, full wide.
Oh man, you see that fish is very beautiful, very, in fact, extremely beautiful. The creator of all this stuff must have been very creative.
Yo, I fucking got it. I fucking got it. Right now, let's see if the up button moves it up. And the down button should move it down. And I should be able to... Oh, you wanker. I'm having that, I'm counting that.
Oh, that is good vibes guy there doing some creative stuff.
Look at that.
Two of them.
Look at
Oh
this.
my gosh.
Look at this.
Look at the color on that. Inside's blue.
Oh
my gosh.
Talking about blade. Both of them. Look at the other
Look
one.
at the color on that. They were right sandwiched together, like a peanut butter sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my nephew, he found 17 here.
Oh my
together.
god. Oh my gosh.
Lord have mercy.
Oh.
Get that.
Oh man.
Lord have mercy.
Totally amazing.
Amazing is insufficient.
Right there.
Amazing is insufficient.
I don't think I've actually.
I bet you don't. I bet you'll never
I
find
got a little nick out of it. I wouldn't even keep it.
You're lucky to find one, let alone two.
I don't think I've fully.
You haven't figured it out yet, have you?
Holy cow.
Oh my
Where
god.
do they come out of?
Right here.
I mean,
Right over there.
and out of the bank over here.
Yeah.
Where at? Holy cow.
I'm not sure.
Don't know.
This load's actually.
Oh man, that is incredible. Huh. Haja. Oh my god, look at this guy. Some good vibes humans here, deep sea divers, went down deep into the seas or ocean's floor. And they found that. What is that? Some rocket spaceship? What is that? Oh my god. Oh, good people of Earth. This is Motorola. Oh, let's see if it can really do that. Yo, wait. Ah! Oh! This is incredible! How are these guys able to do this? Oh, good people of Earth. Is this real technology? Oh, this is interesting, man. This is fascinating. This is even beyond something fascinating. Incredible. You see how can humans do this? Oh, good people of us. It's like these humans, they are now very creative and extremely intelligent. Have you ever come across such type of a gadget or something that can do such type of stuff? Man, it's incredible. It's good vibes. Oh, thanks for watching up to this far. Good people of us. Hitting the like button, even leaving some comments there. Respect to yourself, man. Much love and respect. Keep on watching. Watch till the end.
China is the only country that has developed this new form of capital, which I call cloud capital, which is the part of capital which, when it accumulates, bestows upon its owner the most power. It's the capital that lives inside your phone, the algorithmic AI-driven capital, which is not new. It's been happening now for 10, 15 years. If you think about it, there is no British or European competitor to Google, to Facebook, to Amazon.com, to Uber, to Airbnb, to any of these platforms. None. No British, no German, no French, no Indian competitor to them. China has a bigger and better version of each one of them in China. And not only that, but there is an application called WeChat that belongs to Tencent, which, imagine an application, we don't have it here in Europe. You don't have an app that allows you to watch movies like Netflix, to call a cab like Uber, to send tweets, to do that, and on top of that, to send money, to pay, to make payments for free to anyone in the world. For free, no fee, no banking fee attached. That app doesn't exist in the West. The Chinese have it. So, to the extent that the United States remains hegemonic because they have the monopoly of all payment systems. When you pay anybody, even within Britain, that payment finds its way through to the other person, to the person to whom you are making the payment, through a system totally controlled by the United States. Not by the Bank of England, not by England or the European Union, totally by the United States. This is why...
Explain that, because people don't understand. If you're using Visa or PayPal, people get that.
Well, Visa and PayPal are all American.
But a bank transfer, how's that?
Well, it is possible for a payment to be made within Britain without going through one of the filters that go through Washington. But Washington has the means to press a button and stop you from making a payment from Lloyds Bank to NatWest within London. After the Second World War, Europe and Britain had no payment system. We were, in ashes after the Second World War. The continent of Europe was in genuine ashes, and Britain was bankrupt. So when Bretton Woods rebuilt the financial system through the system of central banks, the Bank of International Settlements and all that, SWIFT, have you seen the acronym SWIFT? All this system is an electronics payment system, a messaging system, which messages one bank, £10, 35 pence is going from here to there. That system is totally controlled by the United States, because it was the United States that created it after Bretton Woods in 1944, and that remains to this day.
Oh, good people of Earth. Thanks for watching up to this far, man. Lots of love and respect, record your sister. I'd like you to leave a comment on everything. All those videos you have seen, everything that has crossed your mind or you've thought about, let it there in the comment section, man, you see? And stick around, because some very fire episode will be coming your way soon, you see? Keep it in and keep checking, because it's going to be lit. Thanks for your support, man. You are loved and respected. Good vibes. We are out.